everyone. I'm back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Yes, season 2. You're the first one to see it. Season 2 of In My World is back. What's been going on? A lot. Have a little facial here. Got some muscles. Never mind. I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress, aren't we all? So, since season 1, 5 months ago, I started In My World. And it was really just to get over my fear of being in front of the camera. Hey, I've been doing this a while. I've been behind the cameras. I've been always behind the scenes, being an audio engineer. For those of you who know, I'm a technical director, so I lead an audio team, video team, lighting team, and bring them to success, whether it's a house of worship, concerts, you name it. And I'm super comfortable of saying, hey, this is how I want you. Now I have these people telling me, you got to do this, you got to do that, wipe your face, you're getting sweat. And so now I have to, like, be the subject and be the talent. But it got me over my fear of public speaking. It got me much more confidence in just tutoring and mentoring and all of that stuff. So since season 1, I've been doing a ton of stuff. I've been mentoring kids, training people on how to mix reggae, other types of genre. I've been teaching middle schoolers, little 6, 7, and 8 graders learning audio production. It stretched me. It taught me a lot of things. And getting this chair, I told you I was going to get a new chair this season, but it taught me a lot of things. It taught me how to just see things from their perspective, how they see it, and quickly. Right? And so I'm super excited about this season because I got a ton of stuff to teach you guys. Much more in depth in my deconstruction, much more in depth in what's on my desk. Alright, what came off my desk recently was my personal project, a labor of love, Scroll V3, the trilogy. Yes, I released it. I put it out, 12 banging tracks. Go check it out. The link is going to be right here. It's on everywhere. Google Play, Amazon, Spotify, Apple, everywhere. The link is going to be in the bio. Alright, so dropped it. I was super excited. I was telling everybody about it, and I heard I'm not telling enough people about it. And then I got the news. Scroll V3 is now up for consideration for a Grammy in many categories. So voting for the first round is already gone, and there's a couple things that's coming. So we're probably, when this airs, probably going to be another stage or so. But however, you can help by spreading the link and telling people about Scroll V3 and help us spread the link. Scroll V3, what is it? It's the evolution of street gospel. It's a labor of love. 20 years ago, I started this just to give people a platform. People that couldn't afford studio time, people that couldn't get a record deal, people that didn't know what indie was. Back then, 20 years ago, indie probably didn't invent. Alright? And so I started it, and it's a genre called street gospel that came out of the islands of Jamaica. Household names like St. Matthew, DJ Nicholas, Latoya Hall, just to name a few. Right? And so since then, I've been dabbling some more into that genre. I've been doing other stuff. So I did that. My project is done. It's out. It's dope. Go check it out. What else? I've been producing stuff. People contacted me that watched In My World and said, yo, I want you to produce some stuff for me. So I did it. And we're out and we're doing it now. Alright. What else? Tons of stuff. I won't bore you, but this episode, the first episode, is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do recaps. We're gonna talk about all the fun stuff we had, to talk about all the fun stuff we did. I got a lot of feedback. People had their favorite episodes. People had their favorite things that I said. People had their things that they didn't like I say or how I said it. And let's be real, guys. I grew up in Jamaica, and so the dialect is really thick. But then I spent most of the time in the US, and I've always had international clients and stuff. Check this out. My accent is my accent, so don't send me nothing, send me to talk more patois. Because the truth is, you can't understand when I talk English, but the people that talk English can't understand patois. So we're going to lay that to rest, right? Cool? So I'm not going to know more patois episode for suit nobody. Much respect and love. And I'm going to tell me for powder my face now. But bad man, don't powder them face, them wipe off the sweat. See? So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to be doing tutorials. And this is how I talk normally. So just get over it. Get some good stuff. Learn it. Do it. Let's do it. Right? So what's coming on board is I'm going to have a couple training courses that is going to give you guys some more in-depth thing. One-on-one training with me. Yes. I've been doing this for 23 years, and so I have a bunch of stuff in the noggin that needs to come out, and this is my outlet. But also in a group setting and in one-on-one, that's where I most shine, and that's where I really tailor make stuff to fit you. Alright, so In My World is also going to be taking there's a spin-off show that comes from In My World. I'll tell you more about it in another episode. So, or the next one, or if I feel like it, I'll just tell you at the end of it. But yeah, oh, you know what? Stay to the end, and I'll tell you what's the spin-off show. It's dope. I'm super excited. I actually didn't start filming this just because I'm working on that. That's how dope it is. Alright, cool. So, our first episode, we talked about deconstructing a jazz tune by Samantha Gooden. Her album is actually out now on all platforms and is being considered for a Grammy as well. So that's the first episode, one of my favorites. The jitters were there. I didn't have my miking right, bunch of stuff. So we're gonna take a little sneak peek on the jazz tune. I can't remember what it's called right now, but we're gonna take a sneak peek on that and come right back. Hi, thanks for joining. I'm Canute. Here we go.
I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within, sinking to rise no more.
Wow, I can't believe it's so long ago. The next episode, really kind of just digging deep on, you know what, let's just go to episode 2. Tune called Slammer. Let's go into it. It was super low, but I needed to hear some more notes to kind of give it some more definition, and so I duped the track and did all that good stuff, shift and all that stuff, and because I needed to hear more strings. And so if you take this out, that's that. But telephone EQ. Episode 3 is Quick Start. I showed you guys how to get up and running with Pro Tools, and just to kind of just get some quick stuff going, and this is what it talked about. Check it out. Hi, thanks for joining. I'm Canute, and today's episode is Pro Tools Quick Start. Today we'll be making a new session, adding tracks, switching windows between edit and mix, creating a click track, setting tempo, recording, and basic navigation. Let's go into it. Today we'll do a blank session. We'll do dot wave, you could select AIFF, and we'll do 24-bit. The sample rate we'll do today is 44.1. However, depending on your audio card, you will get to select a different sample rate if you so desire. Hit OK. And now your session is ready to be labeled. I'm already in my project session, and I'm going to call this Quick Start. Let's play the vocals with effects. Here we go.
You are wondering what is going on. Well, the pressures of life make it seem so hard.
In a dub state right now. Here we go. Let's bypass it. EQ. I pass it at 80 hertz. episode 5, we talked about importing audio and session data. This episode, I really dug in, and there's some really good stuff in here, guys. There's some really good stuff in this episode. Check it out. Meko go night.
So this is the folder where I have the multi-track, right? So say you download it and it's right here. You want to make sure, say you check the properties on the files. And how you do it is you right click and you go get info. The best option is to copy it so that it goes into that new folder that you set. Right? If you add it, it's going to stay in the old one and it's going to be using that. And if you delete that one, then your goose cook. As you can see, all the ones that we selected, they are now imported. Now, things to note. This is going to tell you all the source properties. It's going to tell you the session title, the time codes, bit depth, sample rate, so on and so forth. And we're just going to hit OK. And there you are. We want to check to see if everything line up, which we know it is because we see that the consolidated regions and all of these, they follow.
Some good stuff in there, huh? Now, episode 6 is one of my personal favorites. Here's why. Other than it took a long while to shoot, this episode I really dug into some big boy stuff. This was the turning point. 6 episodes in. I'm always nervous. Do I say this much? Do I say this little? Critics, you guys are ruthless on here. So I was toying with how much information I give, how much all that stuff. But it really had some cool tricks, and it's a trick. Some tricks that I normally use on a daily basis, right? And I want you to check out some cool stuff on this episode. Check it out. We're going to be talking today about memory locators, grouping tracks, assignments, and much more. Thank you so much for joining.
You can hold down Command or Apple. I'm using a Mac, and you could select the different ones as you so desire, if you want it to be a mix match or odd and even, if you will. The first one, go to the last one and hit Shift, and it will select all. So now I have it selected, and I want to hit Apple G. All the drums are there. Alright, it's all selected. I click on 3, and it comes up with all the plugins.
Yeah. Alright, so we're back. If you're just joining us, my name is Canute Ellis. I am your host, and this is In My World. This is me doing some tutorial stuff, some deconstruction, just some cool stuff. This is episode 1, season 2, and this episode is just recapping what we did in season 1. So if you missed it, go binge watch it like how you binge watch Power. I said it. All right, so this episode, I really was just wanting to just go through the different things that I talked about in the last episode. Obviously, they're still on here, so you could go into the playlist and just binge watch it. Quite a few people that I know do that sometimes, or some people, when they're stuck with some stuff, they kind of just scrub through and see the titles and kind of get their stuff. So that actually eliminates them calling me. Episode 7, Recording Explained, one of my favorite. Let me tell you, this show took a while to shoot, and it came out great, and I'm super proud of how it came out and how I did it, and I really had fun, and I learned a lot. Check this episode out. Hi, thanks for joining. I'm Canute, and today we're going to go into it. Yes, all the way into it. Recording Explained. From an idea to playlist. So you have an idea for a song. You might want to consider this approach. Have a meeting with everybody that's going to be a part of your song. Sit and let everyone know their role. Set up your instruments, tune your instruments, place your microphones where they ought to be, and make sure you have good cables. Now you're ready to record. Set up your recording devices and all that good stuff. Now, multi-track recording doesn't always flow as easy as you'd want them to. Sometimes you have to start and stop and pick up and do things at a later date. This is called overdubs. Now,
Moving from overdubs, you want to balance your song and kind of match it with your references. Now you're off to mixing. Mixing now is going to be the engineer's expression and also putting things in context, where the cowbell goes, how loud the vocals are, and so on. Mixing has several stages, first draft, second draft, until it's right. Sometimes it takes a little while, sometimes you get it just like that. After mixing, then comes mastering. This is usually done in a different environment. Now, mastering is where it's going to be the final stage, and this is going to give the tones, the EQs, the compressions, and how loud you want it to be, and what creative expressions you want to be pronounced, or so on. After mastering, you're going to print, and now you're ready for market. This is where you put it on streaming services, CDs, and so on.
Check this episode out.
One thing I know for sure, I know you're gonna make it. You're not alone.
Same spot.
It's alone. You're not alone. You can make it through your problems. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone.
Now, episode 9 was a request from Cap. And he hit me up and said, yo, Uncle Neil, love what you're doing. You know, I love this episode, blah, blah, blah. And I asked him, like, which one? And, you know, then I asked him, what would you want me to speak on? And he said, speak about effects, reverb, and delay. And so I did. Check this episode out.
So let's go through a couple of these reverb units, and we'll see the difference in properties and the flexibility. Let's just go for it. It won't hurt us. Everything is in there. Now everything is at my disposal for automation.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks for the episode suggestion. Now, episode 10 is one of my favorite, all-time favorite. We talked about from vinyl to streaming and what's next. I love this episode because it you got to know some more about me. You got to learn about my vinyl collection, at least some of it, and to see how old I am, that I know about vinyl and so many other things. But it's because, well, I like it much more because my dad literally sat and binge watched all of In My World up to here, and this was the first one he commented on. And he liked this episode, I guess, because he could relate. It wasn't super technical, and he just had one comment. He was like, "How you left out 8-track?" And I was like, "Yes, Dad, I know. I couldn't go through everything, but try to condense it and stuff." So this episode is super. I can't stop saying super now, right? Super important to me because my dad likes it. Check it out.
Welcome, I'm Canute, and today we'll be talking about storage media or playback mediums. We're gonna go right into it. One of my favorites, it's vinyl. If you've never seen one, this is what it looks like. And this particular one has 4 songs on side A and another 4 songs on side B, right? And so you put this on a player and the stylus goes and it reads the groove. And within this portion, it's left and right on side A, left and right on side B. Which is high bias, what you'd call the high def of its time. And this was able to hold 80 minutes. Well, it didn't start it out at that, but now it can hold 80 minutes. And now, this is where we are. USB stick, people travel around with this, put it into whatever device, and that's how they play music. Or some people stream. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and so that's where we are. Who knows where we're going next?
Episode 11, Just Do It. By this time, I was already swamped with a bunch of projects to deliver, trying to finish V3, which I talked about earlier, which is my album, and just felt like, man, this is tough. And, I really just had to, like, get back up and fuel myself. And it's an encouragement to my viewers, but it was also an encouragement to me. In episode 12, we talked about making a hit song. Check this out. Start with your mindset, your vibe. Start with picking your sounds. Pick the right sounds. Pick simple sounds. All the hits are very simple, no complexity. Episode 13, the last episode in that season, we said, go hard, don't stop. And indeed, that's what I want you guys to do. Now, this was really just to encourage again everyone, just to push through and no matter what, just to do it. Now, some cool things happen in in season 1 of In My World. Some really cool stuff. Like I shared with you, I got over some fears. I got encouraged. I got inspired. And it lead me to have a couple more ideas, and I want to share with you, but we don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to share with you in the next coming days or next coming weeks of the spin-off show which came out of In My World. But this season we're gonna dig much more into some tunes from Scroll V3. So some tunes like Out of Time, I Go Hard, Hey Jesus, and a bunch of others. And then what's on my desk. Now I'm gonna go much more in depth. It's not just gonna be, hey, I'm deconstructing the mix. You're gonna really be shadowing me. You're gonna be over my shoulder. There's probably gonna be a couple live features that I'll put on there. So stay close. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that right now and hit the notification bell. And I would love if you could comment on the episodes, and definitely comment on this. Tell me what you want me to talk about. Now, the reason for that when you subscribe is you're going to be the first one to know when we're going premiere live, and you want to be that. We're going to be doing, whether it's here or another studio or somewhere, just to go live so you guys can be right, you can be right front and center to see what's going on. Right? And so it's not just going to be, how you do it, but the why and really the in-depth stuff. So that's what I'll be working on in this season and a ton of more stuff. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Canute, and I look forward to this season. We're going to do it again, all over again, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. All right? So be sure to tell your friends about it, and see you next time. 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 I'll see you next time. My name is Canute, and I'll see you next time. See you next time. See you next time. See you next time.